plains are for the vagabonds, wanderers, and cowboys. Their home is a saddle, the sky's their roof, the ground is their bed. What they lack in material comfort is regained in the knowledge that they are always home. To them, the journey is the destination. Should they find gold at the end of the rainbow, they would leave it there and seek another, choosing freedom over the burden of the pot. I haven't thought once of Oregon. No dreams of the ocean or snow-covered mountains. I only dream of the journey. That is all. No gold for me, just the rainbow.
There will be no loyalty except loyalty to the party.
They're so threatened by the idea that a conservative speaker might be persuasive and interesting and funny.
One man's vulgarity is another man's lyric, and I would say one person's offensive speech is somebody else's challenging the status quo, rocking the boat speech.
Are you looking for a podcast that contains verbal safe spaces and is free from trigger warnings? If so, you've come to the wrong place. Because we expect our conversations to be filled with rigorous debate, discussion, and even disagreement. Welcome to the Socially Sensitive Podcast.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm your host, David.
And I'm Wolfie.
Yay. That was pretty quick. Didn't seem like much of a little bit of no lag there. Seemed like it's going pretty smooth. Good.
Good deal.
Good. So, how's your week been?
Well, so far so good. It's a long week at work, which means I work Monday and Tuesday. I'll be off the next 2 days. Well, today and tomorrow I'm off. And then I go back and have to pull the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
That's always fun. So, listening to the, where we started the intro with 1883, Elsa is the little voiceover is how they start each episode each week. So that's how we started today. Which, like I said, you watched it this week. This week was episode 8. What was the name of the episode this week? Was The Weep of Surrender. So, there was a bunch of news that come out yesterday and today about Taylor Sheridan and his new shows that he's, because he's the golden child right now at Paramount.
Right.
Which he's done Yellowstone. The ones he's got on right now is Yellowstone, 1883, what we're covering here, and The Mayor of Kingstown, which is the Jeremy Renner show. And that's a real good show, too. And we knew they were doing another spin-off of Yellowstone, which is the 4 Sixes, which is the Texas Ranch. Well,
I've also heard that there's going to be a 1939.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to. They've announced actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more shows today. Wow,
having to do with Yellowstone?
2 of them are. The 1932 is.
That's it. 32, not 39.
Is the little glimpse in time. And then there's one, which will be, and they also announced the second season of 1883. So I guess our thoughts on it being a one and done season, like they originally said, is not going to happen, which I didn't figure it would, but it's too big a cash cow right now. Because it's breaking all kinds of records for them as far as viewing for Paramount, but
it's too popular.
But the Landman is another one of theirs. It's Billy Bob Thornton will be the main character in it. And it's about, I think it's more modern day. He's a crisis manager for like a big oil rig, but I think it's still going to revolve around Texas and stuff like that. But then there was LIONESS, which is Zoe Saldana. Which I don't remember her, but it. I guess the Lioness is a CIA program. It's like a real program that exists. That it's going to be based on that more CIA, FBI kind of modern day stories. The Tulsa King is the Sylvester Stallone one, where he's the Kansas City guy. And then
Kansas City Mafia.
Yeah, Boss Reeves is another one. It's a black Western centered around Boss Reeves, who is the character that the Lone Ranger was, based off of, who was a black cowboy, ranger. The story is whitewashed, to retell the story back when Lone Ranger came out, because I guess in that time it wouldn't have held as good an audience if they'd have actually followed with a black marshal in Mississippi. Or not in Mississippi. Where was it? I think it might have been Texas too. Oklahoma.
Rangers are from
Oklahoma.
Rangers are from Texas.
Yeah. This says that he was over the Oklahoma territories.
Mm-hmm.
So he was a marshal. But anyway, here's a little quick clip. We'll play it with.
Okay, how do we reinvent the wheel again? What's the next thing we want to do? We're in an interesting time in scripted drama in TV because everyone is attempting to find this new way in to tell a story. And I've done it with all my shows where I looked at a forgotten part of the American experience.
Taylor is an extraordinary writer.
I love Taylor's writing. There's an intensity to it. There's a urgency to it.
We have a lot of trust and love for each other as artists, so a lot of good things can happen from that.
With Yellowstone, I had built out this backstory of where the Dutton family came from. And with 1932, I chose that moment in time to peek back in because you're seeing the children we've met in 1883 now attempting to raise another generation of Dutton at a time of the Wild West becoming a playground for the elite from the East. And as far as Bass Reeves goes, that's a parallel world. The 1880s, Bass Reeves, who's the first African-American marshal west of the Mississippi, policing the entire Oklahoma territories. When I'm casting, I'm seeking the great actors of our generation, and David Oyelowo is a once-a-generation talent.
To look at a character like Bass Reeves, I mean, this is the guy the Lone Ranger was based on, who got whitewashed out of history. And I just can't wait to get on that horse and tell this story.
I want to go get movie stars. An opportunity to work with someone like Stallone, it just follows this model.
The Tulsa King is a very interesting story. He's a lifetime gangster. He took the fall for his bosses and went to prison for 25 years, kept his mouth shut, and now he comes out. Next thing you know, he's in Tulsa. So he has to now start a new life, create a gang, because they want him to be an earner, and that's when the fun begins.
What I try to do is peek as authentically into a world as I can. Lioness is an actual program between the CIA and Special Forces that truly no one knows about. Nicole Kidman came to this project very early on once I'd written the pilot and was so moved by it, she wanted to be involved as a producer. We have cast Zoe Saldana, and this is a deep dive in the way with which espionage and the military.
Yeah, he's getting some big name stars. Movie stars, bringing them back to television.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess he's the name right now that can do that. So.
Well, it's his success from Yellowstone,
right,
that has allowed him to, and he got Costner to come and play the main guy there on that show. I guess the father.
Yeah, James.
And yeah,
or
and so
John. Sorry.
Yeah. So once you get that one, you know, and then all of the, and these other stars, the good that's coming out of it, and you know, and plus the money to be made.
Yeah.
You know, let's don't just. It's not just all, you know, sweetness and nice. They're looking at, hey, this guy's pretty talented. He's putting this night 18 or this Yellowstone thing's awesome, and then he's kicked off 1883s, went through the roof. Everybody's like, oh, this is so cool. It's breaking records for, like you said, viewership. And so they're not, these people aren't stupid. They didn't get where they were at because they're dumb. And they're like, hey, I want to get on board this gravy train. You know.
Oh,
Plus,
definitely.
you got Paramount's probably, you know, allowing him to do things more so that you would see maybe like in movies instead of on TV, and
Right.
they're actually going on to TV.
Yeah, that's what that one comment he said was, yeah, he's wanting to do full length films in a 1 hour episode.
Yeah,
the quality
well,
and
I mean,
the story and
when you went to the movies back in the day, you went to about, it was an hour 10 minutes.
yeah.
You know, your old movies that you from Hollywood. You know, a long movie back then would be like an hour and a half. Whereas now, you know, we're sitting at you know 3.5.
Yeah, yeah. The new Batman's gonna be
hour movies. Yeah, it's ridiculous. On all those Lord of the Rings movies, they were all up into the 3 hour range, I believe. So you know, it's going to get to the point where the movies are going to get like, if they were to take the Zack Snyder cut of the Justice League and actually release it in theaters, they would have to have like intermissions.
Yeah.
To get people through it, because I mean, you couldn't sit and watch the whole thing in a theater in one city, because if you were able to do it, you didn't take a drink in and you didn't take any popcorn in. So, you know, and they're not going to do that, so they'll have to do an intermission. That way you can go out, you know, pee, do whatever, refill your popcorn, refill your drink, go back and finish watching the movie. I mean, we're just lucky. We watched it on, like I said, what is it, HBO Max? I think that's where it showed up.
Yeah, I think.
And so there, you can pause it. You can go, you know, like I said, if you got to go to the bathroom, that way you don't miss nothing. You can go, you know, make you some popcorn or make you a snack or whatever, and then go back and hit play and start right over where you left off at.
Have blurred. I love to explore the richest, most invigorating stories, and I just want to work with those people who I've admired. And with Landman, I developed that for Billy Bob Thornton. He's a crisis manager for an oil company.
It's about the world of the oil business that we generally don't see. When you see writing that good, it really excites you.
I want to continue to make long-form films that we're showing in 1 hour increments. Paramount had the same vision that I did. They're recognizing that what we're creating is special, and they're giving us the resources to do it. And that's a great partner.
Yeah, I'm curious what their budget per episode is on some of this. 'Cause it's got to be pretty high.
Outrageous.
Yeah. And that segment was brought to you by Paramount Plus. Now send us our free subscriptions.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, it's stars, you know, major Hollywood star talents that don't come cheap. You know, Stallone. It's not, and that's going to go into budget.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Having to pay what he wants to do that. And the man in Yellowstone. You just don't sign these people.
No.
For, for just.
And it's not like they're filming.
Come out work.
Then it's not like they're filming an easy movie. Not that a movie would be easy, but listen to some of the interviews of them on 1883 talking about the recording schedule, the shooting schedules, is just how how much they work, how much time they're putting in, you know, that it's how grueling it is, that it, you know, most of them, and they've all been in some big things. So, I mean, it's not like Sam Elliott, this is his first movie, and he's talking about, you know, that this was one of the most difficult as far as physically and just the amount of work put into it. It's not like he shows up and shoots for 10 minutes and then goes hangs out in the trailer for a day and a half. And but so, but I, you know, I'm looking forward to all those. So.